Hello Virgo, happy holidays. This is your forecast for December 2017. This month we have what we call a stellium. That's when all the planets are like traveling together, grouping up in one area of your chart. Now, your outer planets, they're still scattered around. They're doing the backdrop thing and working for you. But we have the Sun, we got the new moon, we got Mercury, we got Venus, we got Saturn, all located in your fourth house for your foundation in life, family and so forth, real estate, parents. And so this is where your focus is going to be. And it's a great time to have it here in your fourth house, as it is holiday season, right? So you're among the zodiac that will really have everything coming together for you. But we also do have this new moon, and I'm going to talk about that here first because it's a special new moon, and I'll tell you why. We always know that we plant our intentions, and your intention should be within family, your roots, your home, your domain, and so forth. You'll really love this month. But to make this new moon stronger, because a new moon has the power of 12 months, right, as it circles the chart, gets back into this area. But this month, or should I say this year, it is conjuncting up with Saturn. Now, next year when it comes around, Saturn's going to be long gone. It'll be another 28 to 29 years before this conjunction takes place in this area for you. So I feel new moons, new beginnings. Saturn is all about structure, security, karma too, right? And parents, it's you solidifying your ground, so your home. Some of you might be deciding to want to buy a new home. Not saying that that has to happen this month, but it's seeding the idea, envisioning where you're heading. What is it you want that really makes you feel strong, secure as a provider for your family as well? Now, not only do we have this conjunction of the new moon, which, by the way, is on the 18th, 26 degrees there in Sag, but it is also conjuncting Mercury, which, by the way, is retrograde. So it could bring people and situations, family members, back into the picture that you might not have seen for a very long time, or if there has, on any level, been a fallout with an individual, that might come back so you can heal it. Think about Saturn also being the karmic master within us, things that we're learning, and your family members as well. Now, this retrograde, from the 3rd to the 22nd, it will also not just be conjunct in this little stellium, because remember the Sun and Venus is there as well, but it's throwing a beautiful trine of golden beam to Uranus. Now, Uranus is what brings utter surprises. It's like pop goes the weasel, right? Your Uranus is in the 8th house, which has to do with shared resources. It has to do with royalties, commissions. It has to do with investments, your savings, your anything there of retirement funds and so forth. So having this come in on the 18th, I feel, and pay attention to the 19th too, and I'll tell you that Saturn has now concluded a 2.5-year journey in this sector. So a lot of you have felt added responsibility, maybe even some heaviness, where things have moved slow. Some of you might have had a whole lot more interaction needing to, say, help a parent or your parents, that kind of thing. Or there's been structure problems needed to be taken care of in your home foundation. But Saturn is leaving on the 19th. Now, I always like to say that a planet which has been transiting any of our houses for a long time, when it leaves, it will never leave without leaving a gift on the doorstep. That's on the 19th. So think about the very last day before Saturn moves out of Sagittarius into Capricorn, upon which it rules, by the way. It is conjuncting the new moon and Uranus, which is full of surprises, and of course here Mercury as well. So this could be a very important junction, 18th, 19th, pay attention. That Saturn will then enter into Capricorn, which it rules, and so it's powerful, it's strong, it's comfortable in the sign of Capricorn. For you right now, shifting your focus, your aim, your burdens, your obligations, and so forth out of the home and family, it is now moving into the 5th house, which is a much more fun place to have it. The fifth house has everything to do with self-expression, creativity, right? Bringing out all those inner talents and skills that you might not have been using or had time to use. Saturn's going to make sure it's going to clean away and have you focus on those talents that are laying beyond the surface, to bring it up, to start mastering it, right? That's what Saturn does. It teaches us. It's us mastering our skills and talents. Now, the fifth house is also children. So shifting responsibilities, say from parents, might now go over to children in your life. One or more of them might need more of your time, focus, support, and that kind of thing. So you will see that for the next 2.5 years. But Saturn is, like I said, comfortable here, and along its journey on the 2.5-year path, it will be meeting up with Pluto, which is a pivotal point of transformation. So anything you're learning now will really come to the forefront when it touches upon Pluto. But that's down the road. That's like, ooh, I don't know, probably like 1.5 to 2 years from now. Not looking that far ahead. But then you'll see what you have mastered, and then starts a whole new chapter with that Pluto. But back to the stellium. The sun here is in the 4th house, and of course the sun is you, it's the essence of you, and of course it is in the same area of home, family. We have Mercury's retrograde from the 3rd, so get your Christmas shopping done. I'd like to say, if you're listening to this forecast early on the November part, you know, start up so you don't get stuck in the stores that might be a little busy and go haywire and whatnot. Anything that we buy that has moving parts or mechanical things, do not buy anything huge, super expensive, because we oftentimes do see under a retrograde that it needs to be returned down the road and so forth. So that is just one little advice. Secondly, we always try to avoid signing any contracts under a retrograde, and since it's in the 4th house, especially not anything that has to do with your home, say like signing off on a new mortgage. Now, if you have started it prior to December 3rd, you should still be good because it's from the past, that's good. But to start applying for a mortgage would behoove you to wait, for example, to after New Year, or after the 22nd, but New Year is even better, so Mercury can move out of its shadow, right? So yes, now Venus is just entering into this 4th house. It's been cruising there in your 3rd house for communication, short distance travel, just being very social and socializing there in November. So it's just tipping the corner, coming in on the 1st. Having been in the sign of Scorpio, you might have felt that November was very intense. Excuse me. Allowing you to process those deeper layers of consciousness and emotions and speaking your truth. And Mars is in Libra, where it has been there in November. It still will be here until December 9th. Now, that is your 2nd house. So November has been about balancing your bank accounts, what monies are coming in, what is going out. Some of you might have felt more money. Has that actually been pouring into your account? It's more like your attention has been getting all your ducks in a row, and how you can really set this foundation for you, which Mars won't come back for another 2 years. So it's been an extremely important time. You have till December 9th to wrap that up, you know, to really focus, because once it's set, it will work. It's like autopiloting it, right? It's like updating your software, and once that runs, it runs. Mars will be focusing elsewhere, which it will from December 9th when it goes into the sign of Scorpio. Venus has plowed that route, you know, with emotional intensity and depth. Mars will do the same. It will pick up that path and start working those things that you have been talking about, what you've been sharing. You'll see a whole lot more action come into the picture because of it. What is beautiful though, we know Mars is action and goal orientation, but it will be meeting up, not this month, but here in January. Whatever you do from December 9th and throughout the rest of the year, it is preparing itself for this meeting with Jupiter, which happens in January. Jupiter expands everything. So Mars is like just aligning everything so that you can perfect what that outcome will be when we have that conjunction, which only happens once every 2 years. So we love when that comes around because there's action, there's expansion, you know, and Jupiter is always very jovial, very happy-go-lucky, right? So I think you will love that. So you're preparing in December for what you are creating and manifesting in January. So we have other things changing up. Venus is cruising really, really quickly. It's only going to be here coming in December 1st, and will move out of this area of Sag into, on the 25th, Christmas Day, I'm sorry. Yeah, so it's in Sag throughout this month. So Sag area energy is very dynamic. You know, you're a doer, and it's in the area of your home, of course, so you're going to be giving and feeding and sharing and embracing everything with family members. Then on Christmas Day, it will move into your 5th house of joy and creativity, self-expression, children, and so forth. So you will feel that on Christmas Day. For those of you who are going to be with your children and grandchildren, great time, right? And so, of course, it's going to really start setting you up for what Saturn wants to do in that 5th house of creativity. They're actually conjuncting on Christmas Day. So the power of love, creativity, passion, money too, Venus rules money, is coming together with Saturn. They're sitting on the cusp on Christmas Day. So that will open up the door, and it's like your higher consciousness is trying to communicate to you, say, hey, pay attention. What is it you want to do? What is it you're passionate about? Where is your focus? What haven't you had time to? Because I'm going to help you now to open that door so Venus can come out and play. So Venus can radiate and shine. We might feel very sober, you know, very grounded under Saturn transits. However, though, the beauty of Saturn that we should never forget, it helps keep us grounded, helps to keep us focused on what is at hand so that we can work it. It will move things off your desk so your desk is clear to start your projects. So I'm loving that. And really, you know, place your comments, you know, if not this month after Christmas, but then in the next month's forecast. What did it do for you? What did it set off? How did you experience this incredible, I'd like to say intensity, because Saturn can be intense when it holds us by the ear, right? But it's really, you couldn't have a better door opener for Saturn to move into this area than Venus. Venus is love. It's what you're passionate about, right? So that is where it's going to be. And we know down the road, not yet, next year here in 2018, early, Mars will come in and pick up what Venus is laying down as a foundation there. Then you're going to be super active. So more on that later though. But top of the month, we have vision. We have you looking at your long-term goals. Jupiter and Neptune, when they come together, both of them are rulers of Pisces. Jupiter is the ancient ruler. Neptune is the current ruler. Both of them have to do with vision, hopes and dreams, being able to see the full picture. So you might just have this incredible vision of what you want in your future. Now, you don't have to act on anything right away, but I do say write it down, or, you know, file it away in your consciousness, that goal which you foresee for yourself in the oncoming year or years. It can take time to really manifest those big visions, but nothing can happen unless we visualize first. So December 2nd is beautiful. Venus has just changed signs, right? Now on the 6th, there's communication going on between Mercury and Saturn. This is an important discussion, communication, a decision to be made. Mercury is empowered by Mars, which will really give it its drive, its push, its oomph, and so forth. So we like that too. Mercury, yes, is retrograde, so we don't want to start new, but we can discuss and so forth. So that is all good. And there could be things from the past coming in. Maybe you will hear from somebody you haven't heard from for a very long time, like way back to high school, college, that kind of thing. So don't be surprised if you do. On the 10th, Mercury is going to deliver unexpected news from Uranus up there in your 8th house. That has to do with something financial, I feel, either coming to you, or you will have an idea to go check, research something that has to do with your funds, which will behoove you. Some of you could find that there's a payout coming that you might have, should have had long ago, didn't come. Now the door can open for it, and now it's a surprise when it's finally there. Little misunderstandings could happen on the 10th, but it's nothing too bad, I feel. It's just miscommunication. Venus and Neptune square, so kind of lay low, and if you're ever in doubt, you know, then just ask the question. Ask the question to whoever it is you're not feeling you're understanding. It just gets a little cloudy with those squares to Neptune. I think everything will be cleared up by the 12th, so you're good to go. In fact, by the 15th, so between the 12th and the 15th, communication runs beautifully. You're clear, your essence is right where it needs to be. You're sharing your heart, speaking your truth, which is very, very important. And then on the 16th and straight through to the 20th, wow, I mean, beautiful golden trines, meaning these aspects, they are what we wait for. The sun, which is you, are going to receive something unexpected again from Uranus, so we love those surprises, right? So you're feeling good, so it's between the 4th house, which is home, family, funds. It could be bonus payoffs that you're going to be celebrating, being happy for. Of course, a lot of this could also just be you socializing in the home, throwing, you know, holiday parties and so forth, because Venus too is here, and that's all the joyful things that we do, right? And that too can bring some surprise to you. And so whatever it is you're reaping right now, it may feel like a surprise, but I think, you know, in the past you worked for something, you worked towards it. You might not have received it in the past, but this is what these unexpected positive aspects do. It comes when we expect it the least. So the 20th is great. 21st, I feel there is a very deep, sober discussion or decision coming in. Something that's really heartfelt. And it's the Sun and Saturn. You're really aligned with what it is you want for your home, for your family, for your parents, and so forth. What you want now in your foundation. That's what the 4th house is in its base, right? And Saturn's you now making some solid decisions. And now we know we're heading towards, Saturn is sitting on your cusp. It moved there on the 19th. So that 21st, the Sun is right on the cusp of the 5th house with Saturn. And Venus is coming in there on the 25th. So you are actually feeling that this is what I want to do. Whatever that may be, that could be very individualistic, depending on your own natal chart, of course. But you will find what it is you